Today, we have the incredible opportunity to delve deeper into the lives of two remarkable twin sisters who captured hearts and minds after their inspiring speech at Rwanda Day in Washington. While they initially gained attention for their impactful work within the Rwandan community, we now have the privilege to uncover the layers of their journey, from their childhood experiences to their passions and aspirations. Join us as we discover the unique story of these extraordinary sisters. So, what was life growing up as twins, identical twins?
For me, first, Mom told us a story how we were born, and I was blown away. Mom had 10 children, and they were number 7 and 8. And one day, I will write a book from my mom, which we actually have started, and she was pregnant and people thought she was going to deliver a monster. I mean, back in the days in the refugee village in Burundi, Mushiha, people didn't have ultrasound. Come on now, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell you my age because my ego has been fed. People thinking she's super young, so we'll keep it that way. But for now, let's say back in the days, no ultrasound, so people used to run away from my mom thinking she's gonna have a big head monster baby. But so when we were born, we grew up as twins, so we were special. I'm not gonna lie.
You are special.
Somebody said we're born as the world has been blessed twice. So it has been always special. If you want candy, you're twins, it's easier to get it. So we have used that a lot. So I feel like just the whole world can be in the middle of a hurricane. If Joe and I were together, we're gonna make it. That's just a specialty of it all. Like we're just big unity. We're just kind of a big force because two of us. Even God said, where there is 2 or 3 together, He will be there. So even God is amongst us. So I feel blessed.
I love that. I really love that. What was your experience like as Butoi? Mm-hmm. Have you ever felt like, okay, she's my big sister. We're twins, but she's older.
You know what? Yes, I did. You can't believe how 3 minutes is a big deal. It's like just like 1, 2, 3, but like making decisions, like speaking first. That just for any like I felt that she was always my leader when I was a little. And then, for example, Joe knows, so don't laugh. Mm-hmm. Like I always want to wear the same clothes as her. It's like, if Mom buys different color, I'd be like, Mommy, I want the same colors as Josephine. But Josephine, she was kind of laid back, chilling. She could go with different colors. If you'd be like, I want the same color as Joe, but just kind of copying her. Mm-hmm. So she was 3 minutes. It's a big deal because she was always like my leader for some reason. So yeah, I was always.
So there's something you said, like it's a complimentary there. Like it's not a competition. Okay. It's like a good complimentary big sister, little sister. Because I was talking about the other day how like I am too nice. I think there's such a thing. There's such a thing of being too nice. You're being too naive and you don't really know how to say. You don't know how to say no. Yeah. Honey, she's 3 minutes younger than me, but she can say flat out, no, thank you. Next. And me, I'm struggling. I'm trying to explain. Why is this? Why is that? I'm like, why are you spending 10 minutes explaining yourself? Just say no.
Just say no.
So who's leading who? I don't know.
You don't know.
Depends. It depends. Sometimes I'm going, can I just be like you, please?
And then me too. Can I please be like you? So
it's like not a competition.
Husband and wife.
We are married, but shh, God did not hear that.
Oh my God. But I want to know, like the moment you started like noticing
the differences in your personalities, like your uniqueness, the like maybe the things you were passionate about, like your life trajectory, how you made some decisions. How did that come out? Like, do you have influence on her? She had influence on you in making like certain big decisions in life, like marriage. Like, when did you guys get married? Was it at the same time? Was it around the same time? The first time you started dating, like, did she feel any kind of pressure, or you felt any kind of pressure? So I want to see, like, when you were navigating through life and you saw the differences, how was it?
It's interesting. Like, we have so many little stories around that, but I feel like at the end of the day, we communicate with each other. I keep saying that over and over to anyone, whether you're married, whether you have children, any relationship in the world, it's the key is relationship. It's the way we talk to God. It's the way God talks to us. It's through communication and relationships. So Jocelyn and I, even though we're identical and we almost think alike some days, but oh my goodness, we could be looking at the same book. She will see an old woman. I will see a young girl. I don't know if you guys have noticed, when sometimes you can look at the same picture and people can actually have a war on that. Same picture, you see an old woman, I see a young girl. Jocelyn and I some days...
You see 9 and I
see 6.
You got it.
Okay, so some days, even though we're like, we communicate, but guess what? Communication is everything. One of my favorite books in the world is Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Most Effective People. He's talking about a communication. It's like, seek first to understand and then to be understood. So can you imagine Jocelyn and I sometimes will feel like we're in the middle of a war. She sees an old woman, I see a young one. Can you imagine you and I, or husband and wife, one is north and south. It's, what is the planets again? One is Venus, the other one is Mars. So everything is about communication. So some days she can tell you about how we felt about marriage and all that.
To the answer of your question, like for example, when it was a time for marriage, that's a big move. That's a big change. So yeah, it was difficult. Like I felt like I was getting into her life. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. So like this big decision, I think I should have given her space because I was into it. I'm almost like I'm getting married too. And the decisions, she's making, I'm like so involved. She goes, I wish Josephine could have said, Jocelyn, back off. Because I'm like literally suffocating her because we're so twins. Yeah. So you're right. Like as much as we're so connected and so united, I think I will just get involved in so much personal stuff. But Josephine is grateful, like gracefully. She'll say, Joe, communication will just ease up things. So guys, communication is everything. Twins, sisters, husbands, wives.
Countries.
Relationship is everything.
Countries, neighbors, you know where they are. Are we getting along? No. So it doesn't matter if you're born as twins or neighbors. I think back in the days, people used to be much better. Like, can I please get some ketchup? My fries. Okay, here we go. But now it's like...
No, it's text.
You text.
Hi, you're sitting with you. Yeah. Hi, Irma. How was your day? I'm like, well, can I talk to you?
Yeah. Kids are upstairs. Mom, what's for dinner? I'm like, can you come downstairs and say, Mom, how was your day? What's for dinner today? Like, so we're so disconnected.
Exactly.
And that creates miscommunication.
And we were made for connection. Like, we were made for connection.
Absolutely.
I totally believe that. Like, no matter how much we try to be distant and like the artificial intelligence and all that, nothing can replace the human connection. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just divine. That's what we're made for. All right. So when you were choosing your careers, tell us about that.
Careers.
Like, what did you do? Like, even starting like from what you did in school, did you do the same major? Like, follow the same discipline?
I think we had always been like same idea. I wanted to do law, international development. Hello, you know what we do with Shelter Them? That's literally international development. Justin, we want to do. There's 3 majors we wanted to do: international development, relieving poverty, or economic development. So people who struggle with hunger and all that stuff. That's major 1. 2, we wanted to do law. Everyone always told me when I talk a lot, I think it's a gift, if I could use that wisely. Could be a gift. And I mean, in Washington, I thought the world's going to kill me after I talked, to be honest. Because I went blah, 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 in front of His Excellency. But yet, I feel like I spoke from my heart, right? So like I said, I could use my talkative as a gift or not, but for career, 3 majors: law, because we like to have a chat, like we're chatting now. We don't have a problem. We're not very shy at all. So international development, law, and psychology. Oh my, psychology. So those 3. Now I feel like God is shifting us towards all 3. We are international development. I want Rwanda to never be poor again. Are we going to wait for Vision 2050? No. We're going to go fast and together and do it. One, check. Two, law. If I see injustice, I feel like I'm going to die. I must speak. I'm not a bystander, please. If you do wrong, I'm going to call you out. It's just in me. Secondly, it's psychology. Like you're talking about, we are meant for connection. So we're talking to our audience. Connect. And like the root of all depression in the world, I believe it's lack of connectivity.
Like what she's doing, like, can I add something? What she's doing, this show or this is a platform you're giving to people like you watching us. I always believe that sharing stories brings healing. Healing to you in within your heart, your soul, and bring healings to the ones who are watching us right now. So I'm going to continue to pray for you that you may thrive, continue bringing this cycle of healing, of being real, of being people.
Vulnerable.
Like, I love this, what you're doing right now. Me and Joe want to come back.
Everyone should watch this.
You should.
14 million. Check.
I hear you talk about God, your faith, your believers. I want to know about your journey.
Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty sure God came in through our lives because our mother, Césari Sumiza, she is such, I call her an angel. And people call my mom Mama Yesu because she was just a sweetheart. She was helping everybody. You know how God says, Josephine just talked the word yesterday to our 13 students. 3 teachers just came with us to Rwanda from Canada, and the word was John 3:16, saying, "So God loved the world, so He gave His Son." So there is a love, but love after love, what is it? Because I can say, "Hey, I love you," and I walk away. Love, you have to have compassion. You have to have some sort of action. So we grew up with my mother knowing God and showing God with her, reaching out with her hands and feet to help people who are poor, who are in different needs. So to us as a Christians, like I don't go to church to warm up my pew only. I go to church so I can learn and feed my spirit. And once I'm strong, when things hit me, like, marriage, whatever divorces, or whatever infertility, or whatever sickness, that I'm gonna stand still. I'm gonna be solid. So really, my mother, me and Joe, and the rest of our siblings, we have known what love is and what action compassion is. So I think that's what true Christianity. It's not just faith, just knowing God by faith with action.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
I love that.
Like I'm so filled right now.
I am filled as well.
I'm in the seventh heaven.
I am filled as well. I'm like, can we do like a praise break or something?
Church is starting. It's about psychology.
Guess what? Didn't you say what 3 people are God is?
Yes.
Irma, God is here.
God is here.
In this place that you have placed for people.
I feel like the vibration of His greatness and His love coming through the camera to whoever you're watching in the kitchen or sitting in your living room. Love it.
Wow. Love is action. Love is giving. Love is compassion.
Ubuntu, I think Ubuntu indicates, you know how sometimes you try to find a word in languages, Français, Anglais, whatever. I feel like grace, Ubuntu, I think that was the best language that explains it. Ubuntu, just deep.
But you know what is the best
language in the world?
We love our people and our culture. And I love you.
I love you too.
Look how beautiful you are. We're talking about pink, the Rwandan Barbies. I don't even know what it is.
Don't start there.
I'm not.
The conversation gonna go for 2 days. We're gonna miss our flight.
Our flight is in 3 hours, and I refuse to leave today. I'm missing on purpose.
얘 구토라 나 Irma. umugabo nyina musezereye.
Abana banjye. See you later.
Ngaho mubeho.
mukomere kandi mwihangane.
All right, so a lot of people, especially in our community here, myself, I discovered you when I watched the video in Washington, D.C., during Rwanda Day, and you were like thanking His Excellency, the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, and you were sharing about how he gave you a land. I mean, we just discovered two beautiful twins, and we were like, oh my God, I love them, I love them. Everyone was like, I was like, I love them too. And I'm so happy that by the grace of God, I get to connect with you guys on a personal level. So I want to know, like, what is Shelter Them? When did you start it? Just give us a short story, because some people don't even know what you do.
Right.
Yeah, so please share.
Okay, so Shelter Them pretty much started from seeing our mom being compassionate. There's something Jocelyn said, and let me piggyback on that. She said, love, give. Those two are identical twins. It's like one can't live without the other. They feed into each other. So mom we've seen her doing that. So when we moved to Canada, it was almost automatic for us to behave as such. Like we picked up two blonde, blue eyes boys. They came to stay with us and they were homeless. The first week we went to Canada.
Oh my God.
So we're like, oh, wait a minute.
How old were you guys?
We're 18? 18. So I called the mom and I said, Mom, it's your fault. We started to pick up kids like you, but it was a joke, right? But I'm kind of telling her, this is what we're doing. So in Canada, after we do that, of course, we went to school and, kind of reintegrated in the Canadian society. But when we came back in 2005, that's where we saw the need that is greater than before, because we have forgotten how it feels like to be poor, like we used to be super poor. Days, sometimes we didn't always have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's our amateka. And so when we saw the children on the streets, it was still pretty shaky in Rwanda, not as beautiful today. It looks like Singapore, what? Singapore, what? It's Rwanda, right? So then we're like, we needed to help, join hands with people who are making a difference in this country. So we started collecting money through friends, families, coworkers, through television show that we used to go to. So then that's how we started to now help Rwanda economic to go from the least of the least, underprivileged children, family communities. And that's how Shelter Them started in 2005 by feeding program, a little rent to homes for 8 kids. And now we're up to 80s, 100. Yeah, now to families and the communities that we want to take that model, really make it the best there is to become an example, to multiply in the whole country. So with the government's vision to end the poverty, I want to be a part of it and say, I contributed to that economic development. And that's why Rwanda is better than anywhere in the world. So I want to be a part of that. So Shelter Them started from deep within, but it started not from looking, but actually acting. And that's where I say there is empathy. It's when you feel where I feel. Compassion is when you do something about it. Everyone they want empathy. Yeah. Even a sociopath and psychopath, they feel something sometimes. But a compassion, it's when you feel what I feel, you're hungry, and then you relate. Oh, praise you, Jesus! It's then you do something about it. That is compassion. Not everyone is compassionate, because compassionate equal action, not just feeling the goosebumps and go cry and watch television with the children, the flies, and then you're like, oh, God loves you, I'll pray for you. Pick up the phone or put the money, www.shelterthem.com, donate $1,000. 1,000 francs. So don't look at the screens. Don't look at Jojo talking about how they want to help Gateko. Poor children, you feel bad, but you go to bed. It's okay to pray, but please feel compelled to go to www.shelterthem.com, donate 30,000 francs, $1,000, because giving is not because you're rich. If you can't donate $1 from $10, trust me, you ain't donating 1,000 from 5 million. Absolutely not. Giving is not because you're rich. It's because you're compelled to do something about how you felt about someone or something. That is how Shelter Them started. It runs in the blood. And then it goes beyond. We love Rwanda. We love Abanyarwanda. I love me. I am Rwandan, so if I don't start from Jerusalem, who am I loving?
So from six kids, now you're like
8 kids.
8 kids.
So actually, we started with 8 kids, 4 boys, 4 girls. We're renting homes in Kigali. Now we're going to 85 families.
85 families. So what's the structure? How do you do it? Like, do you just visit families? Do you have like all the data? Because people need to understand, how does it work? Like, where can they come in? Like, how do people help? Like, just donating, or just like, can they like take care of like one family? Like, please help people understand.
I'm going to summarize it in short. So, first of all, we work with the government. We have our own social worker, Sylvine and Gloria. They have been with us for over 16 years. Wow. So with our social worker and with the Gateko village, we're in the district of Bugesera right now. That's what the 5 acres was given to shelter them through Rwanda Day 2013 with government. Working with the government. So they took us there. So now there's about 3,000 people in Gateko village. Okay, those 3,000, they are people, families who are so poor. We have gone into their homes where you go inside. There's just one room. The house is falling apart. The kids are sleeping on the floor. There's no mattress. There's a goat on the side. You go there, you can't breathe. These kids are not eating. You see them, their eyes are yellow, and they have a big amabinga. It's just unbelievable. So, sorry, let me switch. We work with the kids are really poor. So we go assessment, work with the local authorities, and then once you classify the family, the family does not even have a basic needs. We jump in. We have to.
Everything.
We have to. So the first step is to help you even to eat, even maybe to build your house. We have built over 20 homes because that was needed. And then from that, so you have a safe space to live in, shelter. You have food, you have education. Then kids, they have no. You have medical. We provide the basic needs of as holistic approach as entire family. There, that's when we need your help. How are you able to provide all that in terms of money? So what we do in Canada, because 99% of all the funds, I'm talking about 85 families, the money comes from outside of Rwanda, Canada. The Friends of Rwanda, not necessarily Rwandans. So that's why, and we do it through events, number one. We do a lot of events. We do have what's called sponsorship. You can sponsor a child, a boy, a girl. You can read their story. You can maybe say, God is speaking to me to reach out to Gatete or Neza. And then you say, you know what, I'm going to spend $40 a month, sponsor a child. That's my commitment. In Rwanda, it's a 35,000 francs. You can take it out of your paycheck every month. Say, I'm going to help my people, my kids, one child at a time.
That's 35,000 per month?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
For Rwandans, 35,000 a month. However, that's a sponsoring a child. We're breaking down in different amount. You can say, okay, we do have agriculture. We do have a community development, co-ops. In co-ops, if you are a person who are in agriculture, you can say, I'm going to sponsor 5,000 francs a month to support co-ops. Okay. So it doesn't have to be 35,000 for sponsoring a child. If God is speaking to you to sponsor a child, please, God bless you. If you have a 5,000 francs to sponsor such, please do. If you want 1,000 francs to sponsor a specific project, you can do that to even 500 francs. So we have a different departments, categories that you can always. No, you can always give because there's no such excuse. We're giving you an opportunity of every level of giving, even prayers. Those are Christians. If those who are doctors, nurses, any skills, knowledge you have, you can use it. Gateko right now, we have a women who came from street kids from Kigali. We moved them in Gateko. They cannot do anything at this point in terms of skills because they have a mental illness. If you're a psychologist, you're a counselor, please go help
1 hour a month. Come and do some therapy session for
Irma,
women.
That's amazing.
In every
area in the world.
God has put you on earth. You have something to give. Please give, shelter them, and we will love you.
And 100% will go to the project. We don't put it in our pocket. 0.
Me and Josephine were volunteers. 100%. Did I give you enough? I hope I didn't speak a lot.
No, it's clear, and it's what I needed. Like,
Good.
I needed people to understand first, what do you do? How can they come in? How can they participate? You know. So thanks so much for sharing about Shelter Them. Now I'm back to you guys. Before I release you, I need to know. So people see your smiles all the time. They're like, are they angels? Like, do they live on the earth? Like,
Where's my wing?
I want to know. Do you guys sometimes go through some, hard times? Do you sometimes cry?
Yeah.
What is your recovery system like?
Yeah, for me, it's actually been a long journey. People used to think, are you okay? Like, I never cried. I didn't cry when I was younger. I didn't cry even when I lost my 2 babies. I had 2 miscarriages. That's okay. But we'll talk another day about women who go through those things and how can we help you? How do we come out of it? Maybe another day, another chat. But I remember one time when I have prepared the room. I was about 4 or 5 months, and the babies went to meet Jesus, right? And I was in a room. So in Canada, they equip you with psychologists, psychiatrists, everyone, because they think you're gonna lose it, right? They're prepared. Yeah. So you don't leave the hospital, going crazy. I remember she came and said to me, are you okay? That's me in bed right after I do my DN surgery to remove the baby. And then she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. I'm actually good. Why? When I was in this room, I had a girl next door to me. She was like, Mom, no, I don't care. I want to abort this baby. I can't have it. Mm-hmm. So I had a young girl who was aborting her pregnancy, and I was losing mine. Yeah. And we were the same. Exactly. So it's like, you want to get rid of what I would give my life for.
Oh. It's not weird.
So it's not weird. Like, what's God teaching you, right?
Yeah.
What I want the most is what you want to get rid of. Mm. So you know how God spoke to me? Mm-hmm. He said, God has prepared you for this experience to be the same one that you go back and help women for. I always say, you help who you used to be. Wow. Does that make sense? If right now I go help a woman, right? Profound, right? Mm-hmm. If right now all the women who have lost their babies, maybe they can't have babies, and sit down and have a conversation, I will be so passionate to talk to you about it. And we both might be okay because I am helping you, helping me. Mm. When you're there, I feel like I'm helping you, but in reality, I'm seeing me in you. So it's easy to help you. So you help who you used to be. So therefore for me, yes, I didn't cry that time. So they thought I was losing it. They followed me everywhere. I'm like, he said, you can smash your brain against the wall, try to find an answer. Why? Why mine? Why me? I'm never going to get an answer. But I know God is just. God is love. I might not have a reason, but all I need is that He loves me. And I woke up, put my jeans on, Jocelyn came pick me up, we literally went for a restaurant, and we went for a movie. And I have lost a baby. Because I feel like God has equipped me with, if you can't change it, accept it gracefully, and then move on. Gracefully accept what you can't change. So that's what I learned from it. So I didn't cry. But I'm telling you my journey, but I'll tell when I cried. During COVID, a lot of people went through like dark moment, especially teenagers. My daughter is a teenager. Was going grade 9, 10. You know, when you're 13, 14, your hormones are up to the roof. You don't know why you're sad. You don't know why you're so hungry that you eat the whole fridge. That kind of feeling. Like,
food in the fridge, not the fridge.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like when you're teenagers, you can eat the food in the fridge, and I eat the fridge. For women who have teenagers, God help you. Prepare for hurricane, tsunami, okay? Like, good Lord. Hormones, you don't know what to say. You just go, You go to the room, pray for Lord to help the hormones going up and down. So my daughter went through some kind of depression. Mom, the world is coming to an end. 5 million this, 1,000 people died in Ontario. And there's a lot of TV and social media, right? And how you stop them? They have to have a phone. They weren't going outside. What are you going to do? Tell them they don't have a phone? You might as well put a rope on their necks, right? So my daughter went through dark time, depression. And I was sitting there, I can't help her. So I was having anxiety attacks on my chest. I called off work and I stayed home. You know how I love to shelter them in Abanyarwanda and Rwandans? You could have told me that there is a woman in Gatek with 5 kids who are dying with hunger. I would have told them, God loves me more than I do. Today, don't talk to me, please. I need to save me.
She took a break, and I said,
I took a break from
shut everything down. I took her role and the responsibilities. I said, just take a view. You need to put your mask
on first
before you.
You know how they say, like when you're in the plane is about to crash. Even if you're sitting with your baby, you must put on your mask first, because if you're not saved, you won't save her, right? So I was putting on my mask first. I didn't see if Jocelyn is dying or the world is coming. I had to put a mask first. So then, because I wasn't showing, I wasn't talking to people about, my child is going through a mental health crisis, because this stigma, oh my goodness, gonna think you're a bad mom, maybe gonna think whatever. I didn't talk to anybody. I talked to God. But sometimes, I'm sorry, go beyond Jesus. Talk to your cousin, your friend, tell them I'm losing it. So because I was keeping it down in my gut, I got to the point where I went to the hospital for 2 days because I had an anxiety attack on my chest. And we think Abanyarwanda and you talk, no, I'm sorry. You're going through a crisis moment. And then I never cried before, remember? Even when I lost my babies, because I used not to cry. Holy God. I went to my room, I said, I'm going to cry. I make an appointment to cry. I bursted. I could not have enough towels to contain my tears. I just lost it. Cried. And guess what, honey? Since then, right now you can tell me something and I'm about to cry. I'm going to use your phone to just, wait. No, I just let it go. I cry. I'm emotional. I love it. Please, men, women, just cry for God's sakes. Stop having anxiety attack about Nubishque. You have arthritis, your joints. It's because you're not crying. Just cry. Just let it go.
Oh, come on.
Start crying. Let it go.
Oh my God.
Now I feel free.
It's so good.
If I feel pain, because if you don't cry, it sits in your elbow. It sits in your constipation. I don't even know. You just, it's because you're not.
You don't let it go. And then you know what? I keep saying that, vulnerability is strength. Accept to be vulnerable. We are not strong every second of our lives. Sometimes we're weak. You know what I mean? Like Joe saying about, we have so many stories. Some people, they think, Joe, you're always smiling. Your life is perfect. Even at work, they say, Joe, you're always happy and everything is perfect. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I talked to a few people they know in Canada about when I found my husband that just fell from 18 feet from a tree in front of my house. And then the moment I saw my husband on the road, bleeding from mouth, nose, ears, he was dead.
Yeah, he was dead.
My husband died.
Yeah. He
came back to life.
Yeah.
It's 2018, 21st of April, 5 years. My husband's life has changed completely. My husband, he was an engineer mechanic at the airport, Pearson Airport, fixing 30 planes by himself, private jets. 5 years, my husband is at home. He doesn't do anything, almost. The only thing he can do, maybe cook dinner, maybe walk our dog. But people see me, Joe, there was bubbly, happy, woo! Not everything is a rainbow.
Colors.
No, we go through things, but it's how you carry yourself. How you trust God. You put yourself grounded. And then just put a mask first. Which my mask is God, it's Joe, it's Irma, it's my friends. And then life goes on. Let it go, let it go, and cry. Oh yeah, I have cried where my lungs, the air could not reach my lungs. I'm like, God, okay, I need to breathe. Like, I feel like my breathing is half. Please let it reach my lungs so I can breathe again. And I just like, ooh, and sometimes I would take off and I go for a walk. And then I would just tears in my face. And then I go home, take a shower, and I go, honey, how are you? Can I give you coffee? Yeah, Irma. Women, men, children, we go through a lot, but it's how we give them.
Trust God, cry, share stories. Like Joy and I, people might going, oh my, how come you're on television sharing all your ghosts in your closets? I have no ghosts in my closet. By the way, that's why we're free, because we talk it out. Talk it out. So if you see real. Be real. Why? Oh my goodness. Somebody told us when we're in Kigali, a driver. I'm like, apparently we're on YouTube or we talk about our story about our children. Or he goes, what do you think? He goes, I want to tell you, when I saw you girls on YouTube, which we didn't even know we were going on YouTube, by the way. We thought we were going on national television because we don't know. And then they're like, he's like, you can't believe how I feel after watching your story. I feel like I can tell you about my problems. And he's a boy. He's a man, right? Because a man usually hold a little, and he's Rwandan. He goes, for me, I think I'm going to start talking about how I feel now. And also he said something really profound. Please, everybody listen. Because it touched me. This guy touched me. He goes, you know, in the Bible is full of personal stories. Embarrassing stories. David, Job. They got naked. A man who got naked, got drunk, and his daughters. David, who committed adultery and he cheated and he killed the man. And Jesus, he is the holiest of majesty, God himself. Guess what? I said I was born in Mushiha, in a refugee village. I was hungry. I didn't have nothing. People are like, how come you're telling your personal story? Jesus was born in the barn. In the barn. Muchiraro. Like he says about that. But how do we relate to those stories in the Bible? I'm pretty sure David's brother and mom and a cousin,
they must be like,
if they saw his story, they would have gone, why are you embarrassing our family? Why are you embarrassing us? Why is your story in the Bible, which has been, the Bible is the most read popular book on the planet. So everyone has read David's story, embarrassingly cheating, killing,
was the man
after God's own heart. He was God's best friend, but yet he was the most idiotic, crazy, secret-breaking person.
But you know what Bible says?
There you go.
God, Imana ntiyaje ku bantu bakize batarwaye. God did not come to the people who are healthy. He came to the people who are sick. Sick. But how do you know you're broken if you don't express it? How? You have to be vulnerable. Vulnerable is strength.
Yeah. Now, not everybody is called to share their stories, by the way. Yeah. So the ones who tell you that you're embarrassing, the ones who say, why are you saying this? I'm sorry, but if they don't have the same calling, of course they won't get it. That's how they tell you don't do it.
But no judging.
I'll be like, I love you. I understand, but this is my story. And
the story brings healing.
It's okay to respect them.
So you
and have that,
job.
So have that compassion, have that empathy, because they're thinking, oh my goodness, if somebody tells me to talk about how I got divorced and how I will die, but they're telling you the truth. Yeah. They would die literally if you put them on spot and ask them questions. So they're okay. But just be compassionate, but also don't allow them to put a cover on your light. If God has called you to shine your light through your stories and vulnerability and somebody's covering it, don't do it. You're going to be like Jonah. The fish is going to swallow you and you're going to out and you're going to have to speak it or you're going to have a chest pain because God is cooking a story so it can heal people. So be compassionate to the people who tell you don't embarrass me and also go back and shine and be you.
Wow. Oof.
Be you. Be you, and you're beautiful.
Be you.
This was so
Irma, what you're doing, I want you to do it again and again and again. And God is going to multiply the fish from 5 fish to 5,000. I can see this.
Let's heal this nation. I'm not talking about poverty of the food. Do you know that you can feed somebody and they can look at it on the table, fries and pasta and chicken, everything. If your head is full of it, you're sad, you're broken, you go to bed, no appetite. You won't eat unless your heart is in line with God, is in line with your peace. So what needs to heal first? Is it shelter them, poverty relief, relieving people, give them food, or it's just to help them heal here, and now you're whole.
I think that's it.
You are whole.
We're sorry, we have so much,
We're fire hosing you.
No, the questions she's asking, they're so deep, and she's allowing us to express because
I love it.
So I thank you for that.
And then you know what? Like the reason why I'm like deeply touched. I feel like this has been my journey as well. You know. So for me,
Share with us.
For me, I grew up in a very loving family. You know, super loving. You know, but I had a conflict, an internal conflict, because I was not free to share about me being an orphan, because I lost my biological parents during the genocide against the Tutsi. And losing my parents at 3 years old, and then at the same time, I'm raised in a beautiful, loving family. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to ask questions. And then I have this deep shame. I feel different. I feel like I'm an orphan. I hate that identity. I don't want to talk about it. And wearing my smile, having almost the same personality as yours guys, I'm smiling all the time, I'm loving, I am friendly, and people think, oh, like people thought I was like, oh my God, I have no issue. Nobody knew about my story, except like few people who were close to me. And guess what? The moment, of course, I went through a journey of healing, long story, when I was living by myself in China. And then in 2019, I was free to talk about it. And people saw me sharing on social media that today I want to honor the death of my parents. They were like, oh my God, we didn't know. We didn't know your story. Oh my God, you went through this? And then I started opening up. And people started relating to my story, and they'll come to me. They'll be like, oh my God, I have something that happened to me at 7 years old. I have something that happened to me at 5 years old. I was never able to talk about it. I was never able to share about it, but I need to be free because this thing is sabotaging me. So I feel like you sharing your stories, you know, Josephine, you talking about like, you know, the depression that you went through when that thing was happening to your daughter, you sharing about your divorce, you sharing about like the downs in life. And Jos, you also doing the same. I think you're bringing healing to many
Absolutely.
people.
Totally
You
agree.
are really
to
doing
me
that.
And to the ones who are listening. So is it worth it?
Yes, it is.
It is worth
100%. 100%.
Good for you. I'm so happy that you got the secret. I'm so happy of being you. Being you. And live without a mask.
Yes.
And you know what, something you said that is so interesting, that is connected to how we judge people in the world. Do you know that sometimes when you're in a market or you're surrounded by someone and they are misbehaving, they are behaving in a way that is negative. Maybe they're mean. Maybe they always got their faces like, I don't even know, they got hit by lightning, I don't know. And you're gonna start thinking, what is wrong with you? Why are you always mean? How come you don't smile? Why do you treat me this way?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If God would just reveal what this person is going through, you will never judge them.
You'll be kind.
You'll be kind. So we are going around in the world judging each other because we are hiding who we are.
Yes.
And so therefore, we all continue to be sick. So if we could, you don't have to spill everything your guts out, but be real and then just relate to each other. That is the connection you're talking about, right? So a lot of people, they don't show empathy and compassion because they don't know what they're going through. So if you don't tell them, how are they gonna know? So start being real, truthful, but with the respect, with the wisdom. You know who you're telling, because you can throw your gold to pigs and you end up being hurt. So who are you talking to? Do they deserve? Are they equipped to handle your story? They are ready to listen. So pray for wisdom, who you talk to. But for us, who I believe we're public people, we feel like God has called us to share. So whoever picks it and relate can go to bed today feeling free. And then they come back and they say, this is who I am. So we're going to end up with more free women in the world, more free Rwandan.
You know, like here, I got these three women, they're powerful, and then including me. And then I know I have gone through things that I can teach women. So I think I would like to encourage Rwandan women. We just went to the Women Leadership Awards. So I think this talk, this movement that we're doing, where we're just telling the women, start being real. Take off your mask because it's gonna kill you, but use it with the wisdom, and you will be, and you dignity. You will be healthy yourself. Your kids are going to be healthy. Your husband is going to be healthy. Your sister's auntie. Community. So, yeah, please learn from these beautiful women. I think you're doing a great job. Seriously.
I said these three: be seen, be heard, and remembered. God, there were women who told me, who wants to die like a fly? You know when a fly is going around and go, there's no remembering. You're no squished.
There's no impact.
Who wants to die like a fly?
No one.
But be remembered by who you are, your legacy, your stories. Be seen. Let us see people, who they are. They just don't look, see you. How is your day? That person you're thinking they're mean. No, you don't know what they're going through. Maybe ask them to have a tea and a coffee and say, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
I see you. Oh my goodness. You might see these women, can of worms coming out because nobody ever seen them. They feel invisible. So let's see each other. We can come together not in a competition way, but in a complementary way. Learn from you, learn from each other, and especially shine this country, honey. Like make a Rwanda, Singapore, what? Sorry, like I said. Rwanda.
Thank you so very much.
Icing on the cake.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you.
Beautiful. Oh my God. So, honey, I love you
We gotta
so
catch your
very
plane.
much. But before I release you, I want you guys to just leave a special message. Joe, you will talk. Joe, and you also. Just something on your heart. You want someone who is watching us, a man and a woman, anything on your heart to share with them.
There's a couple things that keep coming and inspiring me. So one is love, live, and give. If you got those three, you can make it, even if there's a storm. They're very connected. One day, I will tell you how those three are connected, but I'll call them a trinity. Utatu. You know, Catholic do this. Yeah, love, live, and give. The other one is, in the world, like I'm talking about, you don't want to die like a fly, right? Is, somebody said a pyramid. There is family, because even Jesus said, start from Jerusalem, start from you, self-care, family. Okay, so family, income, which means you're not going to do anything in the world if you're poor. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. The biggest problem in the world, why people are fighting and killing, most of it is because of poverty. They don't have the means and the basics. So you gotta have the basics. So you gotta care for your family, income, work, and feed yourself and your family, and then impact. So there's family, income, impact. Those three combined with love and living and giving, I think you can make it. And it's all connected to the Almighty. And when you're all connected to God with that mindset, it's just freedom.
That's beautiful.
That's my message.
Jo?
Yeah, for me, just, experiencing life. I say that life is like a wind. The wind takes you left. You're like, okay, what do I do now? What? So I'm going to say 2 things. What and what? 3, how? So it takes you here. I'm like, okay, now this is how I'm going to do things. I'm going to do this. Maybe you just lost a job. And then like, okay, now thinking. So it takes you there. And then you try to figure out, so, yeah. And then the moment you're starting to do a job, and then you get married. And then, okay, that's another story. Okay, you have to learn your husband. So life is like a wind. And sometimes through those changes and moving and the waves, a lot of times we say, what? Why? Why am I poor? Why am I 40 and I don't have a husband? Issues with the women or girls we talk to. They're in the 40s, they can't find a man. They can't find. Why and why? And the people are just, they feel like they're stuck in this life. Why? And then I think, so what I'm trying to say is, if you know God and you ask guidance, you ask God to lead you, you will get there. You will go from what Josephine's saying, why, to what? What can I do now? And how can I do it? So I'm praying that women and men, young and old, God will help you to go from what, why me, to how. How can I do it? God, you're giving me this marriage. My marriage is falling apart. How can I do it? What can I do to go from this messy life to where I want to be? So I'm praying for God guidance, wisdom, peace, and joy, to be grounded, to go from why me to how. How can I do it? How can I move forward with life without depression, without giving up life? Because life is beautiful. It just has some challenges. So love you.
Oh my God. Okay. This was just beautiful. Thank you so very much for being with us. This brings us to the end of our conversation. It's me, Irma Ihumuri. I love you very, very much. Keep watching. This is a platform. This is not me, really. I'm just a platform, yes, for people to get healed, for people to get inspired, for people to get challenged, yes, for people to grow and leave their comfort zones and keep enjoying life and keep doing what they were born to do.
Absolutely.
I am big on purpose. I am big on impact. I am big on love. I'm really big on that because I believe we're made for a reason. So I love you guys. I'm going to hug my beautiful ladies. Aww. I love you.
I love you more. I love you, little sister. You are a sister now.
I am. And I'm blessed to have you. So see you guys next time. Be blessed and we love you guys.
Love you all.
Bye.